This is the Investor Connect podcast program. I'm Hall T. Martin. I'm the host of the show in which we interview angel investors, venture capital, family offices, private equity, and many other investors for early stage and growth companies. I hope you enjoy this episode. Interested in learning more about investing in startups, launching a new startup, and need to raise funding? The Startup Funding Espresso is a daily podcast in a short, concise format delivered to your inbox every day, Monday through Friday. In the time it takes to drink an espresso, you can learn about startup funding. To subscribe, go to investorconnect.org and put your email into the pop-up box. Hello, this is Hall Martin with Investor Connect. Today we're here with Karen Contet, co-founder and CEO of AngelHub. AngelHub is a tech investment platform enabling investors to co-invest on a deal-by-deal basis alongside their fund and institutional investors. Karen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Great. So what was your background before investing in early-stage companies?
Actually, I started my career in Japan working at JP Morgan as an equity derivative trader. So totally different from investing into tech companies. And then after I switched totally my career to launch my own company with my co-founder, Karina, that I've known for like 15 years. And I started by actually building the website myself and go back to my engineering studies where I did computer science.
Great.
So quite a long way.
That's good. Well, tell us more about your angel network and what's it all about.
So basically, we are here in Hong Kong, enabling high net worth individual to invest into tech companies that are scaling or established in the region. Our aim is really to provide our network with opportunities with a ticket size of minimum of $10,000 US. And our angel network is mostly made of a high net worth individual and family office that are here in Asia, Middle East, or Europe, and that want to directly invest into the tech companies and choose to build their own portfolio.
Great. Well, let's talk about the state of angel investing. How do you see the industry evolving for angel groups? Where is it going from here?
So, we are in Asia, and it's totally different from where you're based in the US. When we started our first company, AngelHub, which is now the biggest tech community and power connector in the region here in Asia, we started it about in 2014. There were like one tech event per week, 10 co-working spaces, maybe like 300 tech companies here in Hong Kong. So it was just starting out and super small. So, in just a few years, actually, we've been a very long way with now having like 9 unicorns just here in Hong Kong, which is actually the highest density of unicorn per capita in the world. And it's been booming quite a lot. 6 years ago, when someone managed to raise $1 million US, he was like a rock star, and now we have Series A at $100 million. So definitely a lot of involvement here, and it goes with same with Angel Network. I think 5-6 years ago, it was very difficult to find angels or individual to invest into tech companies. And I think now that we see successful entrepreneurs really coming up and having successful exits, it really fosters the ecosystem of angel investors. And we see more and more people that maybe have been before that investing through VC and now want to manage it by themselves and have access to a deal flow to really pick and choose. So there have been a lot of changes in the ecosystem. And I think it's a very good thing as it brings more capital power to the tech companies.
Well, great. Well, what is the biggest change you think we'll see in the next, say, 5 years?
Definitely, we'll see more and more individuals investing into tech companies. I mean, right now, we can only have angels such as professional investors or kind of similar to what you call it in the US as sophisticated investors. So it's not totally open to retail. So I think as we go, more as we evolve in the next 5 to 6 years, definitely we'll see more investment and more awareness in the community, and that's definitely a good thing as well.
And so what's the biggest challenge you face today?
We use like everybody else, but I mean, especially here in Asia and especially here in Hong Kong, we used to travel so much. I mean, you're definitely at the center of Asia. So many things are just like 3 or 4 hours away of travel, and you used to take the plane just to go to visit a tech company like in Thailand, or go and do some due diligence in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Singapore, sometime in China, in Korea. And it's true that with COVID, it's getting more and more difficult, right? So I think that's the biggest challenge that really disrupts investor behaviors as well. And in a way, it's kind of a good thing, because maybe all this travel were not actually necessary. So you learn new ways to do due diligence and to rely more on tech.
That's great. So what is your investment thesis? What exactly do you look for to make an investment?
So we are looking for tech companies that are either established or scaling here in the region, because that's definitely where we can bring the most value to the companies. We are looking for at 80% Series A type of companies raising between 1 million to 5 million US dollar, and Series C for about 20%, in order to diversify the risk for investors, and also to see that actually when you're used to do PE, you can also come earlier on to invest into VC kind of stage companies. We are looking for companies that can scale really fast, B2C or B2B, any sectors that is actually on the rise as well. So, for example, last year we invested into blockchain and gaming, into edutech as well, and food tech. The thing is that we have a small team of about 15 persons, but we have actually a huge network, and we definitely leverage our 500 partners across the world, as well as our investment committees that is comprised of successful entrepreneurs, experienced investors, and industry leaders from like Fortune 500 companies. So on our investment committee, we have people that have about $2 billion of AUM, or have invested into more than 100 companies. And we leverage all this network in order to make a very strong due diligence and vetting process on the company that we put on the platform, and that really enable us not to be focused into one industry only, because at some point, how many fintech can you invest in?
And you mentioned one or two portfolios that fit that thesis.
Yeah, so for example, last year we invested into a blockchain and gaming company that is called the Sandbox. Just in 1 year, they have grew a lot. Actually, just in the last 2-3 days, they have sold for about 5 million US dollar of NFTs on their gaming platform. So definitely benefiting from the trends. So that's for sure. We invested into another company, which is one of Hong Kong fintech unicorns, that is called WeLab. It's actually a lending company in China, Hong Kong, and Malaysia as well. But it's also one of the virtual banks in Hong Kong, which means that you have this tech company that just exists for like 6-7 years and actually have a real banking license, same as a Standard Chartered or JP Morgan, to actually be here in Hong Kong. So that's quite amazing, actually.
Great. Well, do you have a fund? And if so, how does it work?
So we also have a fund. So I think what really differentiates us from other equity crowdfunding platforms is actually that we invest into all the companies that we put on our platform. So the aim is not only to tell you, hey, look at this company, it looks great. It's like, hey, look at this company, it looks great. And we are actually investing in them. And I think that's actually a very, very key difference. And when we say that we do a strong due diligence and vetting and only select the one in which we really believe, I think this is key.
Well, great. So what excites you right now?
So I think, right now, of course, we see a lot of things in blockchain, definitely. But I think one thing also that has been there for about 1 year to 18 months is everything related to sustainability and ethics, whether it's in finance or other type of industry, because actually now you have access to so many data points for a company that you can monitor their behavior, whether it's in fashion or any other type of industry. And I think we really see a change in customer behavior that will, enable this type of tech company to monitor closer the industry for more sustainability across the world. And I think that's really great because it's not necessarily non-for-profit companies.
Great. So what's your advice for people investing in startups? What do you tell them to do before they write that check?
They need to do their homework. I think that's one thing that is definitely key. I mean, for example, we provide on the platform all the information related to the company, all the due diligence that we do, the analysis of the concurrence, market, financials, and everything. And I think one thing that is key is that it's a long-term investment and it's risky. So think about it. And then after, when you're ready to invest a part of your investment portfolio, just definitely go for it. But it takes some time.
Good. And then on the other side of that table, what's your advice for people running startups? What do you tell them to do before they go out to raise funding?
Same thing, do your homework and get prepared, because there is nothing worse than, a tech company coming, but not being ready, not having a pitch deck, a data room, their financials ready, their business plan, where do they want to go? That's definitely key. And then after, to take the feedback to iterate and to see what they can improve in their business.
Great. Well, in the last few minutes that we have here, what else should we cover that we haven't?
I think one thing that really excites me that we have our major tech conference actually happening end of May. So it's called the Scale Up Impact Summit. It's one of the biggest tech conference in Asia. Last year, so we organize it every year, and last year it was online as well, and we had over 20,000 participants, 274 speakers across the world. I mean, from the US, we had Tim Draper and Jason Calacanis, for example. This year we have Tom Shi, ex Google X. We have Unicorns founders as well. We have Sean O'Sullivan, and we're going to cover a lot of the tech topics, but also we're going to have about 100 growth stage companies, founders that are going to come and to present actually what they do, so that you can actually learn on the business itself.
Great. Well, how best for listeners to get back in touch with you?
I think on LinkedIn, it's actually quite efficient, and I do reply to messages.
Great. We'll include those in the show notes. I want to thank you for joining us today and hope to have you back for a follow-up soon.
Thank you very much. It was great being there.
Investor Connect helps investors interested in startup funding. In this podcast series, experienced investors share their experience and advice. You can learn more at investorconnect.org. Paul T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.